Hey guys, it's Phoenix Automotive here again, and in this video we're going to be going over the Jeep Cherokee 2014 all the way to 2020. Some dashes may look different, but make sure yours looks like this. Just a quick rundown on how to take the unit apart. You're first going to use some pry tools and pop this factory AC board out. After you pop this out, you're going to have two screws here. Undo these two screws to remove the bezel. After you remove the bezel, there's like 4 screws in total to remove the factory unit and disconnect those connections. After you've done that, you can take our unit and also take the factory AC board. You're going to want to plug that in back to the factory, and of course we're going to route this back to the bottom right here. After you route it to the bottom here, our unit will sit up top here, and this is a 10.4 inch screen, so it's going to look like this. And quick look at the connections. You have the main harness here. You have a connection right here for the factory backup camera. You can see that it's a black plug that goes to this position, and we have it connected from camera to the male camera that is on this main harness. Other connections you need is the radio connection. You can see it's this little piece right here that goes in here, and you connect it to the yellow one. Now there are 3 antennas, one of them Sirius XM, the other one not too sure, maybe HD radio, but connected to one of these 3. We believe it's the yellow one for the factory radio. And you have we have a antenna that you need to connect to. So you can see we screwed it on here, and this is the GPS module antenna. The factory GPS antenna is not retained, so you would need to use this, and this is how our unit gets the GPS signal. And you also get this harness here, which is a yellow connector, and this connects right, let's look for that connection right here. And what this is for aftermarket sound system. So you can see that there is a subwoofer wire or amp power wire. It used to be labeled subwoofer, but this is a remote wire to get the aftermarket amp to turn on. You have red and white RCAs for both the right and left front speakers and right and left back speakers. You also have a sub out RCA connection. So we're not using an aftermarket sound system. We'll put that aside. The other thing you want to connect is this brown connector. And this brown connector would go right over here. Let's see. So there's 2 grooves on the bottom and a groove on the right, and it goes right there. Now this has 2 USB ports. One of them is labeled USB 1, and we recommend, or OTG USB, and that's the one you're going to be using if you have built-in CarPlay on the unit. Make sure you have access to both these USB ports. We route them to the glove compartment or somewhere in the kick plate area of your driver's side so you have access to it. We also provide you an extension cable, and that extension cable would go to the factory USB port. So you can see that there is an adapter here to plug into the USB port just to retain one of the factory USB ports. The next thing to check is we do provide you an aftermarket microphone. Now this microphone is not needed. The unit itself has a microphone, and you can see that there's a 3.5 jack. You can put your own microphone there, or you can use the one we provide. You don't have to use an aftermarket microphone. You can use the microphone that's on the unit, and that is right here. And on the other side, you can see that there's a RST button to press with the paper clip just to get it to reset, a soft reset. Looking at the main harness, you see that there are a couple connections to make. One is the factory backup camera, which we've made right here. And the other connection to make is this big connector right here. You can see it's a little latch. You got to latch it in from the factory connection. You also have to have this box connected. Make sure you have this box connected, and you have a bunch of RCAs here. Now this is for the factory CD player. If you do have a factory CD player and you want to retain the sound, you can see CD aux L or CD aux R. You do need this black connector right here that has RCA females to retain. You can see aux in and aux R. So this will retain the factory CD player sound if you want to hook it up like red to red and white to white. Now you only get the option of retaining the CD player audio, or you can retain the factory AUX jack in the vehicle. So say your vehicle has a 3.5 jack, you would use this RCA and connect it to here. So you can only retain the CD audio or the 3.5 jack. Or if you want to hook up a PlayStation, you can hook the sound source to here, and there should be a yellow RCA labeled AUX. Video in. So this one's labeled video in, and you would use these 3. The other RCA female is labeled SCAM in, and this is for a extra aftermarket camera if you want to hook that up. So altogether on this black connector, you have the factory backup camera, which is labeled camera. You have RCA red and white, and a yellow one for aftermarket video source, and you have another RCA extra for aftermarket camera. So those are the main connections on the main harness. Other than that, you can see we have other loose wires, aux det. These loose wires are not needed. Don't worry about these. If anything, you may just need this Chinese one that's purple, and it's used to power the camera if you have an aftermarket camera and you need it to power up. And if it doesn't trigger to the reverse screen, there is a brown one that's labeled back, and this is your trigger wire. So these two are just the most important wires, loose wires. The other ones we can look at. One of them's labeled aux det, not needed. There's also key 1 and key 2. Key 1, key 2, these are for steering wheel controls. However, factory steering wheel controls should be retained, so these are not needed. These are for other applications that we have for other units. And in terms of other loose wires, nothing else. Another connection you might have is right here, but this pink one is for the hazard button, and you can see that we have a red and black connector here that we would connect here. And don't forget the bottom connection for the bottom buttons. You may have buttons like park assist or collision warning, and make sure you have that connected. So these are the connections for the Jeep Cherokee 2014 all the way to 2020. You can see it fits in really well, and you would have the AC controls right here. So that's how it'll look. So this is the boot up. This is not a fast boot unit, but we do have Android 9 fast boot coming out for these units. Stay tuned for that. If you have issues with air conditioning, go to the settings at the top. You can scroll left and right to the gear icon. On the left side, scroll all the way down to install set 666-888. If the password's error, try 8861. That was the passcode, 8861. Car type, right now we're on Cherokee L, but if your AC controls don't work, try Cherokee H. The procedure for changing car type is press Cherokee L or Cherokee H. It'll get to this screen. Protocol, we're setting to default. Logo setting is boot logo. Car info is we're gonna have it as empty, but check mark the box on the right side of that picture. Press OK. And then we can press the back button on the bottom left. Press save and reboot. Once you save and reboot, check your AC controls. If they don't work, try Cherokee H. That's about it. Check your car type first and let us know if you have any questions. Again, our number is 323-917-9038. We're open from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, guys.